So good morning, Monday morning. Haven't gone for my swim yet, so I'm in my casual, but I have my lipstick on. So let's just take a moment. And I like to feel my heart through my chest because the heart pumps our beautiful blood all around. And it's perfectly just sending the message of perfection, of love throughout our body. Think of how many processes going on in your body right now that are perfect. How many? A couple dozen? A couple hundred dozen? A couple million? So we are incredible beings, always doing the right thing. So let's do a nice deep breath and just honor that perfection. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Deep breath in of perfection, of love, gratitude, anything that's in you that is not of that is a lower vibration. You just breathe it out. Don't need it. Nope, nope. Thank you for another day of lessons. We don't need to put them in one category or another. We just get to experience the day as it unfolds. And everything, I believe, is perfectly perfect to give you the skills you need to navigate the world a little better and stronger, to give our psyche the little lessons that we can ponder so that we can look at everything that's coming as divine, as perfection, as purposeful, as curious opportunities. So if you can paste a little smile on your face and create some curiousness of what is about to unfold, not only on this call, but as each moment presents another moment, is what gets to happen today that we get to look at with curious eyes. Great lessons, whether it's something we give to someone else or something that gets given to us to process. We can take one. I have no ending of that sentence. So delete. So maybe we take 1 minute each to say just something that we're grateful for. Something that we can just say, you know what? At the end of the day, I am grateful for this. And whoever goes on mute first gets to speak. I'm grateful for, we've had more of a summer this year than all summer last year. So I am very grateful that I've already swam 5 or 6 times this year. I am happiest in the water. Michelle, New York, probably has a little different experience in the city. It might be a little hot. Do you want to unmute and share what you're grateful for?
I guess I'm really grateful for my husband giving me space to heal and like just being so kind with me when I have been like going through some scary things. So I'm really grateful for that. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, you have a beautiful smile, and it looks like you're going through nothing, just love and peace. So sometimes we have to act as if. So, and so today's word will be great. Laura, are you grateful, my dear?
Good morning. Yes, I'm grateful. So many things. Weather's also wonderful here. I'm grateful. I'm house sitting right now, and it's really nice having my own space.
Ah,
Yeah, it's been great for moving through some things to have my own space and not I live with 3 housemates, which is also wonderful. But nice to have my own place for a couple weeks.
yay.
Yeah.
Yay. All right, Michelle Thorowski. Are you thankful for anything, my dear? Pardon my epicrisis.
Mm.
Thank you. Ooh, look at Susan. Showed up with her attitude on. We are talking about gratefulness. One thing we're grateful for. So Michelle F is ready to speak to us.
No, Susan can go.
Okay.
Susan, I just got here. Go, Michelle.
Right. This is sad that I have to struggle to find something I'm grateful for.
Be patient with you for your own patience.
Well, I'll go then. I'll go. My voice is a little weak or a little whatever this morning. Sounds the way it sounds. Haven't used it yet.
Okay.
But I just wrote a letter to my I hate to say doctor, but that's what he is, a general, GP. And he's like wonderful. He's this old guy like me, and he just wrote us all letters saying he's retiring this month right away. So I'm like, oh, but I just wrote him a letter and I just said, I'm not even going to say, oh, I'm sorry they're leaving, because I'm just left with gratitude. And these days where it's easy to look on the surface, excuse me, man, especially at things in my own life and call it loss. I mean, what am I going to do? Cry all day, every day? I'm a happy person and I want to continue to be happy. And it's not hard. It's much harder to not be happy. And I just love this notion that you can never not be who you fully are, who you truly are, even though we're in this illusion where it looks like we're separated, where it looks like, oh, I can't do that anymore. Oh, boo-hoo, it looks like, oh, I lost this love, or I lost my youth, or I lost whatever, my watch, or whatever. It's like you don't ever lose what you have embraced through that happiness, through living wholeheartedly. And so I wrote in this letter and I said, I'm just left with gratitude and an opportunity to express gratitude as opposed to sorrow, because like this life, it's a moving freight train. There's nothing, there's nothing you're left that you can keep or hold or tuck away. you know, I mean, physical things, even people, it's like, you have it, and you better understand what that means. I mean, not you better, but I want to. Yeah,
You
I
better,
want to understand.
better
Yeah,
people.
you better. You should. No, I want to understand. I want to take every breath I have left and, embrace that understanding that what is, and that's what you have. And what was, and what will be, will be. But it's really about what is. And so get ready for that. Embrace it. So that's I mean, I presume we were asking people about gratitude or something. To
Something
express
like that.
gratitude.
Your
Something like that.
answer was perfect. I just took a couple notes. No, it's your gratitude about being grateful. Your gratitude is about just the awareness of how important gratitude is in every moment.
Totally.
Just is. So for you to not think from an ego perspective, oh, I'm losing my doctor. No,
Yeah.
good for you. Go enjoy your life. And I'm grateful for
Totally.
you in my life. So that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
for sharing your wisdom to start. All right, Michelle. One thing, my dear.
I'm grateful that you have a call today.
Thank you.
I
All right.
just I needed to connect,
I'm grateful that you're all here.
see some faces.
Yes. I think the moon is in a weird place. You know how they always the weirdos of the weirdos, we'll just put that in a funny little envelope, are always blaming it on like universal energies and or cosmic energies, I guess it would be. I have found myself just kind of in a really funky place. And just like for no particular reason, I have a lot to be grateful for. My house is ripped up. Well, it's ripped up. It's disheveled. Like I have a kitchen, but I have no place, not many places. Like everything's piled up and I'm on hold to get the floors done and on hold. I can't do this because there's too many things. I go to start something and I can't complete it. And my feeling that comes up is like a little defeated. That's the feeling that naturally comes up that I can put a word to. And when I just simply put a word to that and go, yes, I do feel, it's like I'm going forward. I'm like, can't stare. There's the stop, going forward, and there's the stop. And I'm like, okay, what can I not do and have a stop? I can lay here and just be. So I've actually done a lot of laying here and just being and listening to birds and just being present and not doing anything, even though there's a ton of stuff to do. But how can we just be and accept the feeling that we're feeling? Because there is the feeling of pain. There is this feeling of frustration. There is the feeling of separateness. There's the feeling of 100 other feelings. But they are what they are. They are the act of being human, I might add. So, have I shared this book with anybody yet? It's called Pocket Peace by Allan Lokos, if I'm saying it right. Effective Practices for Enlightened Living. my house, my mother's house. Michelle doesn't know a little bit of the story, but I bought my mother's house, my childhood home, from my mother, and there were this wall, 12 by 8 wall of books, and this was one of probably 1,000 books. So it's been floating around for 3 years in my presence, and I finally picked it up. It's a very powerful book and very complementary to learning German New Medicine and applying some simple practices to moving through our healing events, because we all have them going steady. So I'm nearing the end of the book and this chapter on equanimity. Am I saying it right? Equanimity. Yeah?
Sounds good to me.
All right, I'll make up any kind of word. So each one of these chapters starts with a little poem by Miko, Micho. Soon to close its eyes, even the sun gets tired dreaming of the moon. Soon to close its eyes, even the sun gets tired dreaming of the moon. And it'll make sense. These don't always make sense at the beginning of the chapter, so we'll remind me to come back to that. So a modern definition of equanimity, cool. This refers to one whose mind remains stable and calm in all situations. From the Buddhist perspective, equanimity is about one's ability to maintain composure, balance, and an impartial mental state amid life's continuously changing conditions. A composure that is not shaken by the vicissitudes of life, such as pleasure and pain, gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and obscurity. The ability to remain calm. And I want to share this funny little, we'll have a laugh and then we'll have a discussion. So he tells this story of this friend, and my speech is a little off today, so it's okay. And I know why. So, see. Several years ago, a woman in Kansas City walked into her favorite Haagen-Dazs store and ordered an ice cream cone. She turned around for a moment and found herself looking right into the face of the actor Paul Newman, who was in town filming Mr. and Mrs. Bridge. Stunned by his dazzling blue eyes, her knees wobbled, but she managed to turn around, get her ice cream cone and her change, and leave the store. After a few moments, she regained her composure and realized that she didn't have her ice cream cone. She went back into the store and again found herself face to face with Mr. Newman, who asked, "Are you looking for your ice cream cone?" She nodded yes, and he said, "You put it in your purse with your change." I thought that was so funny. I had a good laugh with tears rolling down my face. So yeah, when we're caught by starstruck or a symptom, either side, we can lose all sense of being. So in that moment, can you just see her like frazzled? I got my change. Just everything goes into the purse. So
And it's not even a bad thing.
it's
It
not
just,
even a
it
bad
brings
thing.
that humor, because I just find humor is God. It's the God break. It's like, because otherwise we'd just be these mechanical soldiers doing everything the right way. But it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
So she was stunned and taken out of her balance and her calm by Mr. Blue Eyes himself. And was kind of brought right back. And I like his, like, yeah, it's in your purse. Can you imagine how many experiences he has where people just get starstruck? Like that's that extreme experience. And this is funny. I'm having, I guess I missed you guys as well. So we can feel the opposite, like with symptoms, when we have pain, when we have symptoms that are not very fun. Um, the awareness of the GNM perspective is like, oh, I'm healing. Well, sometimes that's just not enough. It's like, how can we entertain ourselves, and how can we be with our symptoms? How can we stay in that we're okay, we are balanced, even when we are having these extreme symptoms?
Yeah, like I didn't sleep hardly at all last night. I just laid in bed all night. And what are you gonna do?
Right.
Get up and talk about how you didn't sleep all night or how you feel? It's like, whatever, just move on. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not be bothered, to
Mm-hmm.
not be bothered by some concept that we have about, like, hey, this, I didn't get mine, or, it's like, oh, well, move on. I'm not sleeping now. I mean, I am not sleeping now, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, it was okay too. I had my eyes closed. It's kind of boring, but it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Michelle had a question, one of the Michelles. Probably Michelle F, because
Hi.
we don't raise our hand here.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
No, it's okay.
oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
We just unmute.
Yes, I kind of agree with everything that you guys are sharing. Um, but it's just sometimes the fear takes over. And I feel like I've been struggling with one symptom for like 3 months. And the past week it's been kind of subtle, but then it's like, boom, here's another symptom that's crazy that I've never experienced. And then I think the worst case scenario with it, because sometimes reading like the bonjour, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Bonjour, root,
Bjorn?
Bjorn,
Bjorn?
yeah, the root of disease or something.
Yep.
And you go on the GNM website, like it's good to have the awareness, but then it can also put a little bit of fear in the body. So I'm like navigating through that with I think I wrote it down with play, like what does fun and joy look like? But it's still a little hard. Like I'm not there yet. I'm still trying, but
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, when you can fear in the body, well, believe it or not, it's actually, I'm just going to tweak that. There's no fear in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Fear is here.
Mm.
So it's what we do with those symptoms that, yeah. Anybody have scary symptoms recently? Yes, they can be. And so this practice of being in the now and having different language around our pains, different language around our perceptions of pains before they happen, is like the practice of, then it becomes second nature. Like I've trained myself to have a sensation, a painful sensation of, and I meet it with, woo, I felt that. Like that is my now go to, because woo is an exciting, not a,
Mm.
oh shit, here comes another one, cringe, oh, bear down. So we can practice when we're not in those states of mind, so that when they do catch us off guard, when we resolve things and it's like, woo, this is over. Well, just know that most often there could be another, whoo, this is over, secondary conflict that it's like, okay, this new symptom, which doesn't have to bring back the old story of I'm never going to get out of this, because
Mhm.
that's very human. But when we know that there's layers and layers of conflicts that create because of not understanding this, and it's just a process of literally a flower being bloomed, that we can acknowledge and just trust this process and be playful. Like, if you can, do you want to share what symptom you have? Like your recent symptom
Oh
with,
yeah, that's okay.
because
I
then
was
we can play with how to play with that particular symptom.
okay, so for the past 3 months I've been dealing with like intense head pressures. I don't know if they were headaches or migraines. I don't know what it was. It didn't feel like a headache, but it was pretty intense. So for the past 4 days, I want to say it's been 95% good. Like really happy with that. But then now I'm getting like tingling in my fingers and feet, like when you sleep on your feet and you have to like shake it. And then I'm getting like little shocks in different parts of my body. So I'm just like, what is this? Like
Yep.
this is new. What
Okay.
is it? So
Okay. So any yesterday I had some zings in my, I think it was my uterus, my muscles, someplace down lower right hip area, and it's like zing, just like
yeah,
sharp. It wasn't real intense. It was like a 2 or a 3, just enough
yeah.
to capture
It's
my
like a
attention.
one.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I feel you. Oh, I feel you. And again, huh? You got a couple more? You got a couple more? So it's just acknowledging, like, to me, the zings are stitchings. So if you realize, I like to give people the understanding that we have everything on board to create these surgeries. So we can hire somebody when we've gotten out of balance for whatever reason. We can hire somebody to cut us open, take things out, burn, snip, whatever, stitch us back together, and then we'll have symptoms, right? We'll have healing symptoms because of that operation. They'll give us drugs and that'll be all beautiful, right? Well, we actually have everything on board for that same scenario. We
Mm,
don't have to have a surgeon. We don't have to have a consult. We don't have to have pictures. We don't have to. We can, but we don't have to. When we resolve something and go into the microbe stage, those are our surgeons. Those are the ones we have hired to do the job. Like, they know, you don't have to tell them. They know exactly how many are needed, how deep they need to go, and what they need to do. So
mm,
that's the surgery. And then when you get to the epicrisis, that's where things are coming out of the body. That's where sweats, that's where blood, that's where mucus, that's where sneezing, seizures, all that stuff goes out of the body. Then when that's over, then we have this nice quiet phase, which is the sleep, rest, repair, stitching. So when I feel the zing, I picture a needle going and stitching up the part of my body that just ran through this program. I don't have to put pieces together. I'm like, oh, we're stitching now, are we? Okay, glad I'm not on a table in the hospital. That's
mm.
how I reframe it. And so yesterday I had like probably 8 to 13 little phases of the stitching, and
Yeah.
then it was gone.
Oh,
Because it will. Because as Susan was explaining, I wrote down in the chat a couple of the not to be bothered about being bothered. Don't
right.
be scared about being scared. Don't be blah, blah, I can't digest this about being able to not be able to poop. The symptom, once we understand the principles of GNM, the symptom, the fear of the symptom or the intensity of the symptom becomes to be the thing that keeps us caught in a loop.
Okay.
So the acceptance, the balance, the how can we stay calm while the winds are going? How can we stay calm when we're listening to those relentless stories of our family that are just talking about? This is a little bit about my weekend. I went to, I like to put myself in situations where I'm really uncomfortable. And not to say I did this on purpose, but I knew, well, I kind of didn't know, and it caught me off guard a little bit. That's the true story. One of my childhood friends, her brother passed away really unexpectedly about 6 months ago. And so they had a memorial for him. And it's in my small little community that I'm living in. So I knew many of these characters. I like to call people characters. But 90% of the conversations were around the medical model, were around doctors, were around cancer, were around sickness, were around disease, medicine. And my persona is, this is what I do. Yeah, yeah. And there was no place to insert any knowledge, anything. So for me to practice this word that day, I was there for a couple hours, 2.5 hours, and it was really challenging. And I think that's kind of why I went into a hole, because I wanted to be there for my friend, but I really had to leave. I was like, that's enough. And I wanted to be there for my second parents because I was at their house a lot as a child. And I just wanted to be there and be love and just be support and hear their stories. But the human can only handle so much. But
Just to be in that, because that's equanimity, like
yes,
you're talking about, because we don't realize that there's so much, especially today, what I call low density emotions that we carry around. And it's all that, it's status quo. You know, you got to either participate in it or you're weird.
or you can just be.
But it's low density. It's like, it's not exciting. There's nothing interesting there. There's nothing interesting about the political landscape. It's like, and that's what's in our faces. It's like, it's so uninteresting.
There's so
It's so sacrilegious,
yeah,
you know?
that is, you captured my feeling. It's so uninteresting.
Mhm.
It's so, and for me, that's like a draining.
Yeah.
So that's the outer world. So that's an experience from the outer world. So when we're dealing with our own inner world, it's the same thing. So how can we not be like, this pain is so interesting, so uninteresting to me. Like, how can we almost play with our pain? Good morning, Dolores. Dolores. How can we play with our symptoms so that they become fun or curious or interesting or um, intriguing? Like, why I like to compare the human anatomy, like with what we're learning about the GNM perspective of the different phases of healing, that equates to surgeries. So you're like, I like that because it's like, wow, my body is performing a surgery right now. How fascinating. Because you know what that does? I'm going to lower I got to click my screen. What that does is this. Not quite that. Where's the other picture? That's me. Be breathing and trusting. Hold on. Where'd that go? Hold on. I wanted this one. There we go. Did that unpause? Oh, stop share. I'm going to do that again. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Because what Michelle from New York City just realized or is just sharing is whether it's frustration, these are low energy vibrations. So anger, rage, fear, powerlessness, shame, and frustration is kind of here. Frustration, I believe, is a lower energy than anger, because anger is, I have the energy to do something with frustration. So you actually can do something with anger. Courage is, I know I can move through this. I may not know exactly how. It's that tipping point where I have the courage to move through this. I can do it. I don't know how all this is all going to work out, but I think I can. It's that little train going up the hill. Neutrality is, okay, a lot of times GNM, knowing GNM that, okay, this pain is part of the healing, you can create some neutrality there so you're not like angry at the pain. So that's a step in the right direction. But you want to bring that up, you want to up the vibe a little bit. You get curious about the pain. Oh, I wonder what my pain is trying to do. Wonder what is actually going on with those cells that are sending that pain signal up to my brain so I can receive that. Just that process makes me very curious at how we are wildly, crazily wired. And when you can play, that's where I like to bring somebody, is when you can play with your symptoms and in tone, in senses, in smelling things, in food. Like, you can get as creative as you want with all your senses. When you can get all your senses in, like, you put your favorite song on when you are in pain. You don't necessarily have to go into a deep meditative state. Oh, this is the only way I can play with my pain. No, I say play with it. Play all day. Or you can take a medicine. That would work too. So how high can you raise your vibration while you are going through something uncomfortable? So if anybody has some tools that they have used that they can share, I'll just share this, that Jessica was on the last time we had this, and she couldn't come on today yet. She might be able to be, but she sent me a voice message. So this is one of her quotes. It's a wonderful opportunity to feel many, many sensations over the weekend. She had a lot of facial pressure also. Her story was that was one of her frustrations. She'd like it, oh, why is this going on? And once she realized that, whoa, I'm feeding this. And she got some tools in her repertoire. And one of them was how she was dealing with the pain. So she uses a lot of her words. And this was another one. I am going to enjoy that my alarm system in my body is working perfectly, where she used to fight her body. So those were a few things that she left, that she plays with her symptoms now. Dolores, you're unmuted. Do you have a share this morning?
Yeah, I had a pain and I just talked to it. I said, "Hey, how you doing?"
Hey, there you go.
And then I realized I knew that the pain that I was feeling in my body was from an emotional situation I had just dealt with. And so I was just like, "Hey, what you doing? How are you? Yeah, I know I got really pissed off. I'm sorry. We just need to unravel now."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It takes the fight out of it, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Anyone else? And I'm just putting miscellaneous notes in here because it's easier for me to remember um, these stories. So given those couple ideas, Michelle, New York City, Michelle, how do you think you can, and every person has their different set of things. There's different playful ways. They're different, like if somebody is a musician, you write a song about pain. You get your music into it. I had, this is one of my, when I first started getting clients, I worked with this woman that would have symptoms always, and I can't even remember what her symptom was, but she couldn't go into her kitchen without this symptom. And why it started is because she had a pretty intense situation with her father involving a knife. So once we connected, conflict, symptom, it's over, did some reconnecting, I was like, how can you change the dynamic of that history, that story in your kitchen? And she loved playing guitar and loved writing songs. And I said, how about you write a song that just is about a whole new energy of your kitchen? And we played around with food and blah, blah, blah. She did. And I wish I could find the song, and I probably could. Immediately, her symptoms just disappeared overnight. And it had been years and years that she had dealt with it. So she used her natural talents to reframe the old story and was able to clear her, because that is it. The consciousness, the subconscious is like, there's danger in this kitchen. But when you say, whoa, 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 there's no danger, the danger's over. There's no danger in pain. Pain's not fun. We can acknowledge that that's a reality. But there's no danger in pain. Because the psyche just always wants to know that there's no danger. So one of the questions when you're having challenges, you can ask yourself, where's the danger? Where is still the danger? If you have a chronic symptom that shows up here and there, you either keep perceiving things the same way, the same theme, or there is a danger still looming. Where's the danger? I asked that to one of my clients, and she listed her symptom as the danger and a fear of losing her dog as the danger. So that's the work that needs to go on. And it's not outside of her thinking brain. There's nothing that will give you that. It's in here, relating to your subconscious and really seeing and changing the perspective of there was danger, perceived danger back then. That's over. Here I am, like, look, I got a whole new environment. Take in all the new data. That same scenario is no longer there. Psyche, we are safe. Even when we have sensations. even in the sensations. And I have a numb right foot right now. Thank you. I've been sitting here for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Thank you, foot. Let's move. Let's dance. I know I'm not dancing enough. I use voices too. That's part of how I play. So
I
Michelle,
like
after all that, what do you think? How can you play with your symptoms?
I think I need to think this through, but I guess I can change the language of when those zaps appear. So I can write like oh, those zaps are love from the body. Thank you. I feel you, and like try to do something different instead of like letting the fear take over me.
Mhm.
And then I guess I think I need to think about it some more, but I think I really like that, like changing that perspective on it.
Okay.
Because like with my headaches, I try to change the perspective, like saying like what were the benefits from getting the headaches, and it was like to rest and redo my house and actually really learn German new medicine, and finally it's getting better. But then the zaps came and I was like, what is this going on? So I think just changing that language again,
Mhm.
and maybe trying to find what the conflict is to help with that.
You
And then
could, if the zaps are there, there's a fine little, there's fine tuning that acceptance and just go, okay, something just resolved. So you can do two different things. If they keep coming back, it's like showing patterns. It's like, okay, there's a reason for that.
Mm,
But if they're just like, you're just resolved something and you had other symptoms and then the zings, to me, that's healing phase B.
mm,
That feels like healing phase B, where the surgical procedures are going on.
okay.
So you may not, because for some people, searching for the conflict when they're going through this can be frustrating, because if their symptom is healing, then the conflict's been resolved. So you almost don't need to put A, B, C together. So
Mhm.
when it first happens, it's like, oh, this is my new symptom. Oh, I just resolved. Okay, I'm resolving. Perfect. Because Dr. Hammer says, ideally, you don't want to put your thumb on the conflict when you're going through conflict, like the epicrisis. So I get curious. It's like, yep, I just resolved that. Perfect. That's it. Trust my body. So I don't give it a lot of attention. But the zings quite often are this scarification sensation or phase. So if you're tired and you're getting zings and you just came off other sensations, I would say that you're here.
Mhm.
So when you were talking, I was writing into the chat and I didn't press go yet. Zing zaps, those are love from the body. Those were your words. Performing, so this is my interpretation. So you're performing your own surgery down there without me, huh? Oh, okay, I'll let you do it. I will release every interpretation of what's going on and I'll let you perform the surgery. Thank you. Oh, we got our stitch up our stitch up surgeons just arrived for the surgery. Oh, thank you. Right on time. Because then you're acknowledging your amazing wisdom. Because that's the biggest thing is we are performing $1 million surgeries. No denials, no copays, no nothing.
It's beautiful.
No follow-ups, no fear-based mongering.
Yeah. That's
That
so true.
is miraculous. So when you can change that, oh, what's going on, to holy shit, my body's doing this. What the? Your body, you will never loop because of a symptom from here on in. And that right there is your $1 million call today.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was like everything that I needed. And I hope everybody else got something good from it too. It was
Sure.
rough. It was rough. I was like, what is this new thing? But now just switching up the language
Mm-hmm.
and examples of how to switch up that language is so important because we hear it all the time. Well, just change up the language. And it's like, how? I'm suffering here. But, you know, when you explain it that way, like it's your body performing surgery, you know, they're taking the initiative to like heal.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it less fearful.
Yep. And
you
if
know?
you can share that just one simple tool with your husband, like when you see me panicking, here's
Mm-hmm.
what you can say to me. Because
Mm-hmm.
then because we can have all the beautiful intentions, but sometimes when pain hits or a symptom hits, we lose our mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we have somebody that can remind us, that can be that, like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll get a little message that's like, oh, I'm having this. Oh, should I panic? That's usually the message. And it comes from many people. Have you ever sent me one of those? Yes. And it's just, no, remember, this is what's going on. And it becomes like, okay, I lost my shit in that. I got it. Like that's all I needed. Just that simple reminder. And it's not just foo-foo talk. It's like this is how the body works.
Mm-hmm.
Trust and remain calm. Like the work is here. Equanimity from the thinking brain. Because a thought alone is not going to turn on a program. It's not going to continue a program. The feeling of what that thought means is what can perpetuate a symptom.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we know, we keep this little thinking brain, we keep it in check. Oh, you're trying to mess with me again, huh? I always like, oh, you pull out my tough girl attitude if it tries to get me down a rabbit hole that is not a positive rabbit hole.
I'm going to the pool.
Yay!
Hi, Michelle.
Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a little girl at a birthday party. She's filled, her whole face is filled with blue frosting and her sippy cup, and the caption says, my only goal in life is to reach this level of unbotheredness.
Thank you, Michelle. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's nice to connect with everyone. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
All right. When
You
you,
too,
I'm
Michelle.
going to give you this, try this. You had limited gratefulness. Walk with the next, in the next 2 hours. Send me a list of all the things that you can see and be in gratefulness.
Okay.
You can actually, don't just send it to me, put it in the tribe notes. Find all the things that you're grateful and just really aware of.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Have a beauty-filled day. That's perfect. Yeah. How to
If
stay.
I can say something too. Oh, unless you,
Oh, yes, you can.
just that, just the last 10 minutes of talking about, talking to yourself and, oh, wow, don't feel so upset or change the languaging and all that. It's all good part of the part of the process, but I can't help but to also feel that ultimately what equanimity is the practice of not even needing the commentary, because the mind and the body, they arise together. I don't need to talk to the body with the mind, and then the body talks to the, I just keep saying in conversation, it's my new mantra. Oh, I'm tempted to say something or interfere, but I'm practicing the law of non-interference
Mhm.
in my own life, because I don't know everything. In fact, I don't know much at
Right.
all. And we think we do, but it's just like, just roll through it. Just drop the commentary and be gratitude and be equanimity,
Mhm.
be unbothered.
Yeah.
What good is anything to turn it into something I have to look up in a book? Oh yeah, okay, do that. You got to carry it with you. It's got to be who you are
Yeah.
eventually, because yeah.
I would say that is what might be called enlightenment, where we don't have to entertain our ego thinking brain, but in this process of getting there, of, oh, I can literally be in any situation and just be. I don't have
And
to
it,
have a commentary.
yeah,
But
exactly.
this would,
And it is a
this would,
practice.
right,
Yeah.
this
Like
would,
you say, you like to put yourself in situations. Well, that's where you practice it. I'm sorry.
yeah, this is an ongoing practice of getting from beating ourselves up because of a symptom and having all that. So our brain is still programmed to do something. So we have to, it's kind of like the phases of going from here to being okay with whatever. We got to entertain it. I would put it in this category that Dr. Hammer said, entertain the patient while the patient goes through these things. So our thinking brain thinks it needs to do something. So
Right.
we can entertain ourselves all day long. A person like Jesus, and I like to use this, he's on the cross and he literally, I know he didn't have the kidney collecting tubule program going. There was no swelling, there was no water retention. He literally is being beaten to death. If the story is right, is true, and is just there. Do you think he's like judging it? He's just there. He's like, forgive them, God. They know not what they do. He's noticing and he's giving some extracurricular words to the people. But I don't think he was making up all kinds of stories inside, because his physical symptoms, like he wasn't fearing death. I know that because he wasn't plumped up. I know that's kind of a weird.
Well, but I mean, it's kind of like metaphoric in that the more you go through pain and discomfort and trying to figure it out, and the more it's like, can't touch me.
I don't,
I've already,
right,
it's like, what's there to fear?
right.
You know,
What's there to fear than fear itself? Wasn't
yeah.
that
I didn't want to
said
say
that?
it, but thank you.
I did. That was
Ah,
very, it's very real. So
yeah.
the fear of dot 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 whatever story we've been given by our culture, but that we've written and or read in books, that our parents have told us, that we have seen and witnessed in our own body, like all that is the story that just needs the rewiring. Like if we could just go, oh, we just threw it out, and then we're like, whoop, back to balance. Yeah, that's a longer journey. So I think ultimately that's the phases of it. It would be interesting to put the phases of enlightenment to the phases of learning GNM. I bet they would go. Do you have to go, Laura?
Yeah, nice to meet you, Michelle.
Nice
Yay.
to
Deanna,
Hi,
thank
Laura.
you Thank you for a
Nice
great
to see you.
start to the week.
Yay! Good.
Yeah,
Good.
fantastic reminders.
Yay! Thank you for
Yeah.
coming. I'm trying to get
Totally.
back to my whatever, my patterns. They're all over, but thank you for taking me as I am.
Yeah.
It was
Whenever I
wonderful.
show up.
No, I'm happy to see all your faces. It was really, really good.
Good. Good.
Have a
Good.
great day. I'll see you all soon.
Wish you too, Laura.
Peace.
Good day.
Bye. Have a
Take
nice
care.
week.
So, as we unwind here, what's one thing we can do as we blaze our trail this, however fast or slow that trail might be this week? We shouldn't put it, we don't need to put it on one side. So what can we do to be more being, less doing, more playful, less fearing, fretting?
Love your body because it is listening to you. Love your body. It is listening to you and it is there to help you. And I like the question that you said, where's the danger? So like when the symptoms arise, ask your body, where's the danger? And if there is no danger, you speak to the psyche like, hey, I'm okay.
See? Thank you. Or the symptom is the proof that the danger's gone.
Okay.
Remember, the symptoms come after you've resolved something.
Oh, okay.
So most often the symptoms are a resolved symptom. It's like, oh, thank you. Yep, I know the danger's gone. So remember, oh yeah, that whole
Oh.
big thing that just happened here. Yep, we got through it. Thank you. Thank you, Psyche,
Oh,
for sending the brain the message. Thank you, brain, for sending my organ the message. Woo, we got through that, didn't we?
Mhm.
Yeah, all that
Okay.
connection. Yes. Okay. So you'll work on that. Love that. Susan, you got it. You're just practicing more and more of what you're being and
Well, again, just like not coming to any conclusions, dropping the commentary. My new mantra is, oh, well, it's like that story of you come to the conclusions and the guy says, is that so? It's like, you don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it will turn out. Maybe it is good fortune. Maybe not so much. It's like, it ain't over till it's over. And I don't think it ever is. So no sense in settling down with conclusions. Stay loose. Stay lucid.
Yep. You say so many things and I'm trying to type them all in there. It's just like, oh my goodness. But they're so simple when you really narrow it down. And that really is what we're going through. It's just,
Yeah.
it's so simple to live. It's so hard for our thinking brain, our ego brain, to just be so simple. It's like,
Yeah.
stop making up all these stories.
And trying to figure out what it's changing all the time.
Yes, it is what it is. So thank you for that. So perfect. Yes, you can ask a question after class or during. Yes.
I'm gonna leave. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Susan.
Deanna, and it was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Actually,
too.
can I just share you with you? You're presenting with very stronger energy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then compared to what initially? Oh, just
Not even initially. Just
yeah.
you've got some inner strength that I've not seen.
Well, I had this kind of tragedy with my daughter, and it was like it adrenalized me because I had to do all this searching and phone calls, and it was panic for over a month.
Wow.
And she's through it now.
Okay.
God, yeah.
She's on an antipsychotic medication. It's still kind of a nightmare, but it's like it adrenalized me because I had been just kind of not doing much, and it's like, it tired me out. I don't want to continue to have to expend energy like that, but you get through stuff.
Yeah.
It teaches you. It's like day by day, each day hurts a little less each day, a little resolve, a little more resolve.
Yep.
So that's how it comes to us, this life, day by day, you know,
Day
step
by
by step.
day, day by day.
Yeah, it's good. Good
Oh,
song.
dear Lord, three things I pray.
Yeah, take us back. Take us back. I'm going to go. Thank you, Deanna, as always, and
Bye, Susan.
you too, Michelle.
Nice to meet you,
Thank
Susan. Bye. Enjoy the day.
Okay. Very good.
Yes. Okay. I wanted to know, do you help women like wanting to have babies? Because I know you have a section on your page with pregnancy,
Mhm.
but I don't, I know it's like fertility, that's like a whole bigger
Is
concept.
it? Is it? Or is it just as simple?
I want it to be just as simple. I would love
Just
it.
as simple.
Yeah.
It's just as simple. Yes. In fact, it's funny because full circle, I part of the categories of how I work with people, I'll show you something.
Okay. I didn't want to take up too much of your time
There we
because I
go. This is perfect. This is being
okay.
recorded and so that's okay. I can't minimize my Zoom window. So I'm going to do this. Do that. Move this over. I was just going to show you this. Okay. When working with anybody, these are the categories that I basically have. These are my giftings, that kind of how I help people, but they're really full circle of how to just really be in a good place. And the soul's mission is ultimately our destination, like
Mm,
being here on earth for your mission. So a little bit about my story is, initially when I learned German New Medicine, I was like, I want to bring this to families, to um, bring peace to the home, because I had a little violence in my home. It was small in the comparison of what could go on in a home and what does go on. So I thought bringing it into the home to bring peaceful, conscious families together. Then there's this other level of working with people who couldn't have kids,
mm,
conscious creations, conscious conception. So there's a level of what I would love to work with, people that want to have babies. And because what do we need to do that is
yeah.
learn about what programs stop that process, how to turn into learning how to trust your body, that your people have told you, oh, you can't have kids for one
Mm-hmm.
reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
Biologically, you are designed to have kids,
Yes.
period. So trusting your body, that's GNM. Daily fun, learning how to have fun with the symptoms, learning how to be active, to have, not just sit there waiting and trying to figure out how to have a baby.
Mm,
Putting daily fun into life, taking care of yourself while we're learning to trust the body, and so that we're setting the stage for a healthy environment for that egg and sperm to implant.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Consciously choosing healthcare, consciously choosing healthy relationships, consciously choosing whatever that might be around how or why you're not conceiving yet. Making sure you have a healthy support system that's not stressing you out, that's not putting triggers into your life of, oh, you didn't have a baby yet? Oh, like all this. So, full circle, I am trying to practice this for me, but it also is the categories of working with somebody, whether
Okay.
they're dealing with stabby pains in their brain or facial pains or chronic diarrhea. we do the same things. We understand from the GNM perspective what conflict started what, why our body's doing, why we have hiccups, why we can't move to the finish line, while we learn how to start living again and taking care of ourselves and consciously getting out of unhealthy relationships and finding new community and getting on our mission.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
that
not a
sounds
straight line. It's just learning to navigate.
yeah. And I think these symptoms I've been, going through the past few months, I feel like it's trying to make me trust my body 100%. Because when I had the miscarriage, it was a lot of fear that happened. And I think my body, when it's ready to get pregnant again, I'm like totally like 100% like I could do this. There's no fear. If something does come up, like I know how to go through it.
Yep.
So, but I do need like a little bit of support because it could be hard on your own. It's a lot, and it's going
It
against the
is.
mainstream.
It is very hard on your own. It
Yeah.
can be done, but it is so the network is so important. That's
Yeah.
why I do these calls on Monday. Is it's just I try. It's setting the stage, bringing you together so that everyone knows that they're not alone. Everybody will hear the same things and get the same foundations for making their life the most living and
Mhm.
not just existing to the next
Mhm.
symptom. So it's kind of critical to have that support.
Yeah, no, I love it. I'm so happy I found it, and it's really nice.
Good.
Okay,
So
so I
yes, your
reached out.
short story, yes. The answer to the answer to your question is yes. I
Okay,
would, if that feels right, I would love to help you
yeah,
how to set
yeah,
the stage for consciously
yes,
creating,
I'm
because
ready.
I believe that souls choose the parents to give them the lessons. So when the parents are conscious, and I believe wholeheartedly that GNM is a huge piece of a conscious family. So I
Mm-hmm.
believe that a husband and a wife should both know GNM, use that as the guiding principles for conscious parenting, um, consciously creating, and
Mm-hmm.
know when all the danger's over, now it's time to bring in our soul. We are ready.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
and I
Yeah,
just,
I see them. I'm not, I don't see them, but I hear them like they're ready to come, but I'm like, not yet. I need to like work on something. So
okay. And that's conscious. It's like, nope, not quite ready.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to be the best, nurturing, full
Yeah, yeah.
soul to do my best with this
Mm-hmm.
gift. It really
Yeah.
is
Okay.
a tremendous gift. And I did not have this awareness when I had my three.
I know
So
I read your story on the website.
I will
Just
impart all my wisdom so that you can take some shortcuts. I'll save you tens of thousands of dollars,
okay.
lots of books, lots
Yeah.
of time. We'll give you the shortcut.
I love that.
Parenting can be so much easier. Oh,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
simple. It
Of
can
course.
no simple, yes. Easy, no, because
No.
it's not meant to be easy. But it
Hmm.
certainly can be a whole lot more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'll reach out. I'll send you an email when
Okay.
to start. And
Very good.
that sounds really good. I would like that.
Okay. Good. Thank you for coming. Thank you
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
being
Yes.
open and finding us. And we'll stay tuned.
Okay. All right. I'll see you soon.
All
Okay.
right. Bye
Bye.
bye.